Hey everybody, welcome back. Let's talk about how to create a security deposit charge for your tenant. So first off, what we need to do is make sure that we have the item set up for the security deposit charge. And to do that, we're going to go over here to our gear icon. You can go to products and services, all lists. Now I just choose products and services because it takes us right to where we want to be. And then we are going to want to create an item for that property. So let's see here. We have security deposits here. I have some of this stuff already set up for other properties, but let's see. Okay. So we will select new. And what I would like to do here is add, we're going to use a service category here. And what I like to do here is I like to add an individual item for the deposit and the rent for each property. So in the name box, we're going to list the address and then put deposit right after it. Now the category, we're going to classify this in the security deposits category. And if you want to add a new category, one of these categories here, this is where you do it. It's real simple. You just hit add and then type in what you want. So I've preloaded these categories. If you're wondering where these came from, I went in and added them. But we'll select security deposit here, and I'm just going to copy and paste. And let's say the security deposit for this property is going to be $500. Now the income account is going to be important here because this is not an income, this is actually a liability, and what this allows us to do is allows us to route the money that we receive here to the appropriate ledger account. So we are going to open this up and we can type in security deposits, and you're going to see everything that has security in there, but here is the liability account. So we want this to go to the 21-100 tenant security deposit liability. And then this is a non-taxable item, so we're just going to select non-taxable. You do not purchase from anybody, and once it's set up, you can save and close. Now what you're going to see is that security deposit item is listed here, down here in the correct category, and we know that this one's $500. And if you look at these other properties, you know, we've set up the security deposit. We charge $795 for $123. We set up a pet deposit for $123. Here's another security deposit. And then, of course, here's $800 main. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to create an invoice because this is the way that we're going to charge the tenant the security deposit. So you can, again, go to your sales, you go to invoices and go to new. You can go over here to new and you can go to invoice here. Whatever way works. Now we're going to enter our tenant's name in. And again, if this is a new tenant, you're going to want to add the details, but let's just assume that she is in the system. The email would pop up. We select if we want to accept online payments from Kim. Terms are due upon receipt, and we're billing them today, due today. This is just our business address. Service date, you can turn this on and off. Normally I have it off. I just didn't click that button. So from here, what we're going to do is we are going to enter that item, 800 Main Street 1 deposit. This can be $500. And then, you know, what's nice about this is in the future, is as long as your deposit doesn't change, you can reuse this item code over and over and over again. And let's just say, oh, this is going to be for 800 main. And we have them set up as a class. So we're going to do 01, and this is 01, is that right? Yep. So that all ties out together. If we have any type of messaging, we can put them here. There's not really going to be a statement, but if there was anything to attach, again, you can attach it here. There is no sales tax on this particular charge code. So we will save and close. Now, when that person pays, of course, we can receive the payment. Maybe they pay online and it comes in there. But what we have is when you go to your balance sheet, And let's see, this is going to be as of September 30th. We're going to come down here, and that deposit is going to increase your tenant liability account for $15.95. Okay, now when a tenant moves out, we need to dispose of that, and we need to charge that tenant for any damages that may have occurred. And I just like to use a simple check format for this. It just makes things really easy. So let's go on and use the same example, Kim Jones and that 800 Main address. What we're going to do here is we are going to create a check. And this is assuming that they get a check back. And even if they don't get a check back, you can still use this method if you want. So we're going to do a check. And we're going to write a check out. The payee is going to be Kim Jones. We're going to write it out of the security deposit account because that's where right now there's no balance. But when we would have received that payment, it should have increased this bank account by that amount. Her information should be here, and you're going to want to update that with her forwarding address, the date that we paid it out, print later, and we are going to start out by putting the amount of the security deposit that is in the account. And we're going to use this tenant security deposit liability account here because that has a $500 balance that we're holding for her. So we want to pull it out of that same ledger. And then we're just going to say deposit held. And it's going to be an amount of $500. Okay, now, if she was getting 100% of her security deposit back, you could save and close and print this and send her the check, and it would reduce that liability, showing that we no longer owe her, and it would take the money out of the account, and that would be that. But let's say that she owes damages. We're going to set everything up the same exact way. We're going to have her security deposit here because what this does is it reduces this $500 liability and takes it out of her deposit account. And so then we are going to set up an item code, which I've already done it here. Move out expenses. And so whatever it may be, I itemize it here. I'm going to deduct $125 there. Oh, don't forget our class. Okay, so now what we have is we have an itemized list of the deposit we're holding, the amount we're deducting for each item, and then Kim is going to receive $285 of that. And then if you save and close, you can print the check. And when you print this check, if you use that voucher, it's going to have this breakdown right on there. Let's just take a look at that. Let's just go to, let's save and close. What am I doing? Print checks. Okay. And then we're going to select the security deposit account, although again, there's no money in there, but so again, this is going to be the check voucher. Kim gets $285. She sees the deposit held, minus $125 for carpet clean, minus $90 for cleaning. And that's your security deposit settlement. Really nice and tidy there. Again, the move-out expenses can also include like rents that they owe, or any of those damages can be associated with that move-out expense. And then, you just deduct it from the check. And if it takes up 100% of that, then, that there's a zero check. I would still go on and use this and zero this out. That way you have some sort of record of that you took everything and what it was applied to. But then you can print and move on. Now we have, let's see here, that's 15, that's $300. We have $215 now that is still sitting in our security deposit account. Because remember, we collected $500, we put it in a security deposit account. We sent her back $285 because we deducted those others, which means there's $215 that we need to capture ourselves to pay for those damages. So in order to make that transaction, what we're going to do is just a simple bank transfer. So you go to New and you go to Transfer, and this is a really simple process here. So transfer funds from the security deposit account, transfer funds to the operating account, and it was $215. The date we're going to do it, and then for Kim Jones. And then if you use the security deposit settlement form, the manual one, you can maybe drag and attach that here, or you can perhaps take a copy of the check and bring that over here as well. That way there's a link on, the difference there. It's just a supporting document. And then you save and close. And then, of course, you're going to want to make that manual transfer in your bank account too. Just transfer the funds over. You can also write a check out and then to yourself, and then deposit it back to your deposit account. That's another way to do it. And let's just take a look at what that would look like. We can write a check. We can, the payee is really going to be, let's scratch that section. Okay, and so after you make that transfer and you make that entry into QuickBooks, what you're going to find is that your tenant security deposit account is reduced by that amount. Okay, so that's how you're going to create your security deposit charge. That's how you're going to receive the payment for the security deposit. And that's how we are going to pay out and dispose of the security deposit at move out.